What's up, YouTube, and welcome to Travel Adventures with Eric B. I'm Eric B, and today I'm hanging out with my buddy, Magnificent Germany with Darian, and we're in Helen, Georgia, and today we're going to talk about 12 things that you should know before you come right here to Helen, Georgia. Follow along and let's get the adventure started.
Let's do it.
Welcome to Travel Adventures with Eric B. I'm Eric B if you're new here. I offer travel advice. I'm a solo traveler and I do vlogs to help you travel better and more efficiently. You know about Helen, Georgia, for such a small town, you will not believe the amount of tourists that come to this town. A lot of tourists come here because it's a fun, wonderful place, especially a fun, wonderful place to, go for a weekend or so or go for a short trip. There's a lot of nice little shops to see, lots of fun things to do here in Helen. So you might be surprised for such a small city that you may not know a lot about, but there are lots and lots of tourists that come here. The thing you should know about Helen, Georgia, sort of piggybacking off of the last one, Helen, for such a small town with a population of only 545, you may not believe this, but Helen is the third most visited city in the state of Georgia, behind, of course, Atlanta and Savannah, the two cities that people love to go to, and for great reason. But you may be surprised to know that Helen is the third most visited city, despite having over 545 people, but with great tourism infrastructure, beautiful Appalachian mountain area, Helen is indeed the third most visited city in the state of Georgia.
Folks, you've got to come to Helen. It's very easy to get to. For instance, if you're flying in from Atlanta, Georgia, big old hot Atlanta, it's only a 2-hour and 6-minute drive. That's with no traffic, of course. You got to time it just right. So you figure 2 hours, 6 minutes. That's a pretty good safe timing to say. But it's very easy to get to. It's right here in the Appalachians. You're in the Appalachians. You're not in the Alps. You're in the Appalachians. Two different places. And you could get here by driving. You can take a bus. Now, if you take a bus, it'll got about a 4-hour ride. And but if you have 4 hours, you can get here. Folks, let's talk about the weather here, okay? Now, right now it's March, okay? It's probably about 63 degrees right now, right around there, just to guess. Now, I know for a fact today, we have a low of 37 today. Last we looked, and that could get kind of cold. But there are days where it could be lows in the 60s right now. All right, so but you never know. You never know. But you looking at. Let me start over.
Ready.
Okay. In fact, this is the Helen, Georgia meetup. That's supposed to be the 4th annual. 2 years ago, it was snowing this exact same time of year. So they got down, it was like 24 degrees, 24, 25 degrees, and it was freezing. But you never know what Mother Nature's going to do for you that day. I've even been tubing this time of year, but you don't want to be tubing if it's this cold right now. Now, during the summertime, you're looking in the 80s, 90s even, and there's tubing. There's right here on the Chattahoochee River, going right through. I like to tube. I love being in the water everywhere I go. And if you want to go do some nice tubing down the Chattahoochee River in Helen, Georgia, in a Bavarian town, right here in Georgia, this is the place to go. Check your weather before you go.
You should know about Helen is for a town that has so many tourists, the nightlife does not tend to stay open really late at night. So if you're here, a lot of the bars and restaurants and things like that tend to close around like 9 o'clock. So don't expect to come here and be out all night partying. If you're going with a group of people like us right now, you might want to kind of bring the party to your rooms and everything, because there's not a great nightlife here in Helen. It's a small town, but yeah, it's a beautiful place, a lot to see, but definitely not known for its nightlife. Though if you are seeking out a little nightlife in Helen, you can hit up Paul's Margarita Deck, and it stays open pretty late on the weekend. It says midnight, but actually stayed open past midnight.
Interesting fact about Helen, Georgia, it wasn't even platted until 1912. And where did Helen come from? Well, Helen was the daughter of a big logging official here. Because actually, Helen was a logging company. They had a lot of logging. We have the river right here, a lot of stuff to do, or a lot of logging going on. But it was named after the daughter of a logging official, and it's pretty cool. But in the late 50s, 60s, they wanted to resurrect the town. And they did that by making a replica of a Bavarian town you will see in Bavaria, Germany. And this is what you have now. You got all kinds of the facade, half-timbered houses, buildings, businesses, restaurants, tons of German restaurants around here. There's too many to count. The Bundessee, the Hofbrauhaus, the Troll, the Heidelberg, many, many more. So if you want some German food in America, but you think you're in Germany or in Bavaria, hey, that rhymes, come to Helen, Georgia.
Next thing you should know about Helen is never underestimate the amount of cool and quirky shops there are in this town. Like, there's so many on Main Street for such a small town, and you go veer off of Main Street a little bit. There's also so many little shops, from wood shops to handmade studio shops to all different types of quirky, crazy stuff with Christmas trees and bears and all different types of designs. So don't underestimate that when you come here. You can just walk around and go in these fun little shops all day, and it'll take forever just to see most of these shops because there's so many of them. They're in abundance.
Folks, if you can't go to Germany right now, make it a point to go to Germany. But if you can't go to Germany right now, for a Christmas market, come to Helen, Georgia. We have the 17th annual Christmas market right here in Helen, Georgia. They got this whole place lit up with lights and fanfare and Christmas fanfare everywhere, and it's a lot of fun. It's beautiful. If you like the smells of the chestnut, of fresh pies, fresh cakes, everything fresh, come here during the Christmas market. You would absolutely love it. And that happens around November and December. The dates aren't out yet, but Google it. By the time this video's out, and you Google it, you'll be able to find it.
The thing you should know about Helen is if you're driving into Helen and you're looking for places to park, you're going to generally looking at around like $10 to park. It's a good amount of like little parking lots and things around the town. Town's not that big, so if you find a parking lot around and pay $10 to park, you can walk around. Tons of shops everywhere in every little crack of the city, if you would say, if you will. But the walks are pretty short, but generally you're looking at around like $10 to park, and that's going to be most lots. So maybe a little different if there's like a special event. Maybe, I don't know if it's more for like an Oktoberfest or something like that, but generally you're looking at about $10 to park.
Folks, I'm going to talk about the food here a little bit, okay? Now, I'm very particular on my food, especially German food. I love German food, all right? Well, Helen is the place to go to find authentic German food. One of my favorite places that I mentioned before is the Hofbrauhaus. That's where we're going to have the meetup tonight, the 4th annual Helen, Georgia meetup. You get Schweinhaxe, rouladen, all kinds of potatoes, and the whole German fanfare right at your fingertips. All you got to do is say, "Ich möchte ein Schweinhaxe," or whatever that you want. But not only the Hofbrauhaus, we have the Bundessee, we have the Heidelberg. We even have Paul's Steakhouse. Nothing to do with Germany, but Paul's Steakhouse is good too. But tons and tons of places to get food. And I got to tell you a little bit about dessert. My friends Dee and Maria at Dice Ice Cream Shop right here in Helen. You don't got to go all the way to Germany. Right here in Helen, you can go get this concoction called spaghetti ice. I've said it, spaghetti ice, okay? It's a plate of ice cream, bowl of ice cream, that looks like a plate of spaghetti. But it's not spaghetti, it's ice cream. And let me tell you a little bit about that ice cream. I love talking about spaghetti ice. They take a chilled plate or a little bowl, all right, and they put some fresh. Can you say fresh, everybody? I'm fresh when you're saying fresh right here on every
Fresh.
channel. Eric just said it. He said fresh. You put that fresh cream in there, and they take vanilla ice cream, they put it through a press, and they press it through. It's kind of hard. You got to have some muscles. And then it comes out, looks like spaghetti, but we're not done. We're not done. Now, everybody likes spaghetti sauce, right? But you don't want to put spaghetti ice or spaghetti sauce on your ice cream. No. All right? So you take strawberries. Fresh. Can you say fresh?
Fresh.
Strawberries, all right? And you squish those strawberries, and it comes out so fresh and creamy, and it's all over there sitting there, but we're still not done because we need cheese, right? But you don't want to put cheese on your ice cream. That's kind of disgusting. So instead of the cheese, you're going to take fresh white chocolate, Weiss Chocolate, all right? And you're going to grate it right there, and that's your cheese. Almost done. Are you with me, guys? Almost done. Then you take a wafer. You can have vanilla chocolate on each side, or you can have vanilla chocolate, whatever kind of wafer you want. And that's your garlic toast, right? And you take it and you stick it in that bad boy right there, and there's your spaghetti ice. But we're still not done. This is the climax. Can you say climax?
Climax.
Then you take your spoon. Now this is different than any other ice cream. Normally you just eat like this. Not with this stuff. When you do it, your hands start to shake. And then you get here and your lips start to quiver and they go and then you're over, you're done. You'll be wanting spaghetti ice anywhere, everywhere you go. Trust me.
You should know about Helen is there are tons of accommodations here, especially when it comes to hotels and motels. There are a lot. And you have a Marriott across the way over here. You have a Hilton property close by, but you have a ton of the local places that you may want to go to and, you know, help out the local businesses. But there's a ton of accommodations. There's a Holiday Inn as well, but tons of local accommodations here. And I'm sure you'll be able to find something in the mountains if you want a little bit of a different feel and drive a little bit. Get a Airbnb maybe out in the mountains a little bit and drive a little bit here. But yeah, there's tons and tons of accommodations. And most of them, from what I find, from my experience, are very reasonably priced as well.
Folks, another great fact about this place, you are surrounded by nature. Now I mentioned before, we're in the Appalachians, right? Appalachian Trail, that's a long trail, okay? But it goes right through Helen, Georgia, all right? You got the Unicoi State Park, you got the rivers going right through there. I mean, it's just beautiful, beautiful walk. Annie Ruby Falls. You can walk up to Annie Ruby Falls. You walk about 20, 30 minutes and you're rewarded with just the beauty of all the waterfalls going down. And I love waterfalls. And you'll just be rewarded with that. Not only that, there's other trails north of town here. All kinds of, if you like to hike like I do, make sure you do that. There's parks. You got the parks right here in Helen, Georgia. Right along the river, you got restaurants along the river, you got Big Daddy's. I should have mentioned that other one, but you got Big Daddy's right there, right in the middle of nature, and it's just sitting pretty. This is a beautiful, beautiful place. Kind of reminds me of Germany.
And that's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I ask that you please hit the like, please hit the subscribe button, please hit the bell notification so you can know when I have more videos coming out. And as always, remember, live today, grow today, tomorrow's never guaranteed.
Peace and travel.
Lots and lots of travel. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit the like, share, subscribe button. Leave any comments below. I love to interact. And if you would like to help the channel continue to grow, please consider hitting the join button and becoming a member of the Peace Corps and help us to continue to grow as a travel community.